Hey guys, Ajax22 here, and just want to do a quick update on where things are at. Been making progress. Yeah, ordered a relay light harness so I can just rewire the front without dealing with the factory stuff. We're running a GM style alternator with one wire, so it should be real quick to set up the charging system, which we're going to need headlights, so that's going to be handle that. Gonna move the PA system over to the side, screw and mount that so that it's ready to wire while we're wiring. Got shock absorbers, absolutely critical things, because I was really kind of stressing about taking this thing down the road with zero shocks and that much spring and, you know, sprung weight on it. Got a list on the dust of the thing. So we got shocks. We're going to trim the column to get rid of the shifty stuff right in there. We're gonna unstick the carb today, redo the I'll just pull it out and blast it. I should have probably brought some cleaner. And then that's the mount PA, and then we're gonna trim the jack mounting location. I'm gonna get those hoops that are randomly in there, cut those out, and then we're going to test fit the dash. I got a dash panel made up that we're going to see if that's going to work and how that's going to work, and a lot of trial and error. But I actually found a dude works for a city who can hook me up with road signs. Apparently they retire them, they don't recycle them, so we're going to get a whole bunch of fingers crossed, knock on wood, aluminum signs that away. Fit dash, and I got to mount the air cleaner to the carb. I need to get the chunk of all thread and the little bolt and stuff just so that that's all sorted. I need to hook up a vacuum line to the brake booster. I remember that being a big issue. So yeah, it tastes delicious. Brake vac, cool. Other things that need doing, I'm sure we'll turn up as we're going. I also got to do some stuff on daily drivers today, so I'm not sure how far down this road we're going to get. But yeah, I also ordered a GPS speedo, so we're gonna ditch this factory speedo cable. We're not going to hook up the trans, because calculating it with these wheels and different trans and all that horribleness is just not going to work. So $50, you can have a boat GPS based speedo that works really well. Hooks up with like 2 wires, so why do we not have that? I need to hook up the dash once we get that test fitted and make sure that that's happy, and that'll be oil temp, water temp, oil pressure, and voltage. Plus, I'd love to get a hold of a fuel air, but so far I've not found one for cheap. I want to get a wideband O2 so that I can actually see what I'm detonating, and then we'll clean up the engine bay a little bit. But that's more than enough for today. Actually, I'd really like to trim the exhaust pipes to fit, so let me add that to the list of things that I'm doing today, and then I'll update you with some details as we're going. All right, back to it. Hey, we're back under the car this time. Just got the shocks bolted up. You can see the heavy-duty Grand Marquis wagon springs really make a difference. And when we're down here, we can also take a look at the exhaust system. Got the cherry bombs feeding into those collectors that are dump out. You can see where the flamethrower, maybe you can't see it right here, where the spark plugs go. I guess you can't see them, but they're there. I haven't got the box wired up. Gonna try to do that on a lift. But yeah, you can also see the modifications that had to be done to the cross member to be able to run the C6 trans under here. And you can't see it, but there's 4-inch lift blocks in the rear with some air shocks that are 4 inches over, I believe. So it's got a good amount of lift. But yeah, just wanted to show getting it done. Checking off the list. Okay guys, a little quick update, a couple of things. Got the dash fitted and mocked up, at least part of it. And it looks like, sorry about that, looks like it's gonna work. I'm gonna have to get a little creative on the bends and adjust the bottom edge a little bit. But, you know, should bend to, no, not much at all. Can almost get away with doing it straight. I just want a crease. So I'll get a couple of bars of steel and hammer and make a crease for that. On the door panel, got the trim that was hanging up. Need to make that pretty at some point, but racing the clock on this. So we trimmed it just so that it clears everything and doesn't hang up when it opens and closes. Nice thing about the Mad Max aesthetic is it's a little forgiving. And then the hoopy things that were for the jack actually were easier to just pull out than to cut. So there's holes in the sheet metal now, which I'm not super happy about, but you just smack them and they come right off. Yeah, so just gonna go try to get the shocks on now. All right, so this is a redneck metal bending jig. Get a big piece of steel. You really should have two. It makes it a lot cleaner. And then applying a little pressure below the holes, otherwise it'll bend throughout the whole sheet. You then take a ball peen hammer and run it along the edge until you can see where the bend line is, and then switch it over and use the flat to knock it. Good thing it's a Mad Max aesthetic, because that's, you know, not pretty. In a dream world, you use 2 pieces of angle iron and fix it. But yeah, back to fitting. All right, we got the Holly double pumper off, and looks like she's probably going to due for a rebuild. One thing noticed was right here. See the leak on the little dealy bob there. So in addition to overflowing out the vent tube, got a couple of moist spots. It looked like we're getting some gas coming out places. So with a little bit of leaks coming out, and we're just going to take it over to AR-15 barrels, do a full soak, tear down, and rebuild. And while I'm at it, I'll figure out where we're going to tap into the vacuum to run the brake booster. I guess in there. Looks like a brake booster type thing. But that's a weird one. It's like a spark plug boot with some hose or something stuffed inside it. But I think that's where we're going. Anyway, so back to the car. We'll do a quick update. All right, so air cleaner's off the carb. I got the carb pulled off. Since I'm gonna have those two things together, it's gonna be real easy to just go get a piece of all thread and the right nut and have that all together as a thing tomorrow over at Randall's. Deal with the brake vacuum at that time. Probably make a run to O'Reilly's and get that. I was looking at what it's going to take to trim the exhaust. That's going to have to wait till I get a bigger grindy wheel, because the grindy wheel, the death wheel I got for it, is not going to cut all the way through those exhaust dealies. So yeah, that's what's going on. So I just need to get a little bit bigger one, and then I'll do the measuring and the cutting and the screwing around with it. So that's going to get delayed. Air cleaner and this are going to be at Randall's. That goes with the on-stick carb. Column is kicking my ass. I don't know what it's going to take to pull this thing out. Got the bolts on top, got the bolts underneath, got the side bolts, undid the knuckle. I really don't know what actually is holding it at this point. I'm real tempted to just get a big ass hammer, but I know that that's the wrong answer. Dash mount, I got one more screw to add to it, but it's actually on there pretty good, especially once I get the side panels and the rest of the thing formed up. That's all I need to wire it, so I got something, and then we'll come, you know, off here and go across with another piece that holds the speedo, the tack, and I'll probably put the fuel gauge here too. I like where those are, unless I want to reserve that for some switches. We'll figure it out. Yeah, door trim got done. Yeah, so steering column, I'm gonna go look on the internet and see what it's gonna take to do that, and then start buttoning her up for the day. Wish we could got that steering column a little bit further out. Fingers crossed. See what happens. We'll see what happens. I'll do some research. Okay, we got the carb off and apart, and figured out what the problem was. See the fluid level in that little float right there? That will cause problems, such as fuel squirting out the top of your carbs. And if it's full of fuel, then no matter how hard you smack it with a hammer, it's not gonna unstick. So, rebuild time. All right. Hey guys, check this out. We took the shaft out of the Launchero finally. Kind of a pain to get it out. Had a lot of stuff that was hanging up on it. But it's out, cut it down, actually turned a bearing carrier out of a 2 1/4 inch mild steel. So it's got a nice firm fit for the bearing that's supported in there. Bearing's actually retained by the end of the quick disconnect, which is awesome because this thing now comes off, so you can have all the witnessing, but doing it all one-handed, less fun. Anyway, so that's going back in the car. Actually got done. Came out really nice. Cross pinned it in there, cut it flush. Yeah, oh, it was a good thing we took this out too, by the way. Didn't notice this, but yeah, I did not remove those bolts. So that needs to be rebuilt. 20 bucks worth every penny to actually do it. This had bolts that were in it, but the nuts were gone. And the actual rubber is, as you can see, busted out on the side, so it's pretty far gone. Got to lube the lower bearing carrier a little bit just to keep that happy. And then I'm gonna put the do a test fit of the turn signals here in a bit. But we've got the detachable steering wheel now. We just got to get it into the car. Hey guys, and here you see it all installed with the custom shaft. Pretty cool. Witness! Be awesome. Yeah. I don't think you want to do this while you're driving though. That Nux was crazy. Anyway, I'm going to end this video here. If you guys want to support this project, I got a link to the GoFundMe down below. Otherwise, share it, like it, comment. You know, hold me accountable to the progress that's getting done. I'm trying to be better about staying on top of it, and you guys hassling me helps a lot. But yeah, a lot of this is burning some time, and you know, the rest is burning some money. So anyway, I'm gonna get back to it, and hopefully up next, carburetor rebuilds and trying this out. Maybe even bolting the seats down. That'd be useful. All right, have a good one.